Hello, everyone. This is Fadi, and I want to welcome you back to a continuation of this fascinating series that we have entitled Refuting Dan Gibson. And we've been going through a number of objections that were raised against Dan Gibson's theory, and we allowed Dan, who is with us here right now in studio virtually, to respond to each one of those objections. This video's topic has to do with one of those objections. This time, it's pointed towards one of the mosques that Dan focused on, known as the Fustat Mosque. And the claim is that the Fustat Mosque has been rebuilt, so it will be impossible, or at least challenging to Dan, to inspect the foundation and therefore reach a conclusion that it was facing towards Petra. With that in mind, Dan, welcome back as always. How will you respond, Dan, to this particular reasonable claim?
Yep, a very good claim. It does show us that there are some stronger and some weaker pieces of evidence. What we should do to respond to that is go to the online Qibla tool itself and check it out. And so hopefully we can do that here. If we go over to the tool, I've got it on the screen here in front of me. I am going to show you, this is that I can zoom in and out with my mosque. So there's all 170 mosques that are in our database. And I can just go around, pick up whichever one I want. So I can go down here to this one, as we can see, is Yamama. I can zoom in. If I double click on it, it'll take me right up close. And if you look at it, you go, well, where is that? You can barely see it. That's because it's all covered up with sand, but the archaeologists will give you a picture in a minute of when it was exposed and when the archaeologists were digging. Down on the right, it tells us which way the bearing is and which way it's facing. Here is the more info, which is the important one. We can go to a website and it shows there's the actual mosque in the process by the archaeologists uncovering it and showing us the mosque and which way it faces. And as we see in this picture, Yamama is facing between Petra and Mecca. They either got it very wrong, or that's this is actually right and something else is going on.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to go back and see if I can get back. There we go. So I will go back to the Qibla tool. We want to look at Fustat. I just wanted to show you a mosque. So we can go to Fustat and click on it, and we can, there it is, Amr ibn al-As. There's the mosque. Right. And what's interesting is that I say this mosque faces towards straight east, towards Petra. You'll notice Petra straight to the east, but that mosque is actually oriented down here almost towards Mecca, or maybe in a between position. And so his argument is, this modern building, why am I saying the original building faced in that direction? And this mosque is different from all of the other mosques in the database. So he was very sharp to pick this one out. And the reason why this, we can say this faced Petra, was because of manuscript evidence, not archaeological evidence. So if we go down here to more information, we can bring up the mosque and we can read all about it and go into it. So it does tell us that when the mosque was first built, we have records of the people who were there and how they prayed and the direction. And it says here, Amr ibn al-As prayed facing east. And not more towards the south, okay? And so we give here a number of references. So he faced at that spot facing east originally. So in the original mosque, it was facing east. And I've got several different accounts of other scholars who talk about this and how he faced how he picked his east and how he faced there. So that gives us an idea of, it's based on manuscript evidence rather than based on archaeological evidence. Right. So go back to the Qibla tool. If I'm standing in this spot and I'm facing east, guess which way I'm facing? I'm facing towards Petra. So that's why we call this a Petra mosque. This is the only one I know of where we use manuscript evidence rather than using the actual existing ancient mosque that we can see. So we have not looked at the foundation, but we have evidence that that the leader stood on this spot, and there's 3 or 4 different ancient writers who tell us he stood here, he faced east when he prayed, very similar to the Christians, and that's what is being remembered.
That's wonderful. And I want to really stop right here, because I want to come back again and do at least one more mosque, maybe even 2, if we can squeeze it in 5-minute segments, because we want to just show people how we've been using the tool right here in front of them so that they can go and do the same thing. And this is an excellent explanation. There is nothing wrong using a manuscript evidence writings unless the person is discounting the authenticity of that writing. And the writing clearly stated that facing east. And facing east definitely is not facing south. There is a difference between east and south. Well, thank you so much, Dan, as always. And when we come back, we'll look at another mosque using this Qibla tool on Dan Gibson's website, nabatia.net. Thank you again. Thank you, everyone. This is Al-Fadi, over and out. God bless. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, CIRA International, and click on the bell so that you receive notifications whenever we publish a new video or go live. I would also like to appeal to you to consider becoming a Patreon patron by clicking the link right below. By doing so, you can give towards the production of these videos. There are also other options for you where you can give to our channel. I thank you from the bottom of my heart.